everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Okay, the topic for today is exposing the DL man. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now we have a letter. So let's dive right into this letter and see what she says. Not sure how to approach this, so I'll just dive in. I started a relationship with a man 5 years ago. We moved in together and committed to each other. We agreed to have a monogamous relationship. So when you got together, whose idea was it to be monogamous? I bet it was yours. And so he didn't disagree, or maybe he just said, okay. But I doubt it if it was his idea. Okay. We have always had the Ring camera at our home. There was footage missing for hours or days since 3 years ago, but I never questioned it. Last March in 2024, I had the camera on at work and noticed a man on the camera entering our home, whom I never met. I also saw that my partner was driving this man's truck, which seemed very strange to me. When I got home from work, I looked for the footage and it was deleted. Thus, I mentioned what I saw. He calmly stated that was a friend of his. I asked more questions. How long have you known him? Why were you driving his car? He calmly stated that they had been friends for 2 years. He said that they met at a bar. He said he was driving his truck because he doesn't really like to drive. So how did he get to him then? This dude's lying. Okay. It all seemed very strange to me. I asked more questions. Is he married? Have kids? And the answer shocked me. My partner responded that he was gay. Never married. No kids. He had a lover of 10 years that came and went. He also had casual relationships with 2 other men. I still did not suspect anything. My partner seemed to be a very masculine man. You can't tell by that. Sometimes it's the most hardened-looking men who like sleeping with other men. They just like having sex with men. Hardened men. Even these guys in the gym with the big muscles and the big chest and all that. Gay. Okay. And a number of them are just in the closet. They don't want, their family and friends to know that they're openly gay. So, they just slip and slide around. So, ladies, don't go by a man's appearance that he seems to be all masculine. It has nothing to do with it. Ever since I saw this on the camera, I lost trust. I could not believe he had kept a secret from me for 2 years. But again, I never suspected he was a DL man. All right, for those of you who don't know what a DL is a closeted gay man. He hasn't come out, but he slips and slides around with other men. And many of these DL men are in relationships with women because they want everybody to believe that they're heterosexual. Okay? I thought he was just being a good friend to this gay man. No, that rarely happens. Often I would ask, when am I going to meet your friend? He would always make excuses or say that his friend did not want to meet me. Well, what's with that? He said He vented to him about our relationship problems, and his friend had no interest in meeting me. So, why is he telling his so called friend your personal relationship business? That's because he's been having sex with this guy. This is his boy toy. That's why. And that's why the guy doesn't want to meet you. He probably wants this guy to get rid of you so they can be together. You understand? Okay. I went out of town to meet up with my college friend the first weekend of August 2025. This was only a few weeks ago. I left out of town on Saturday, August the 2nd, and returned Monday, August the 4th. I was constantly looking at the Ring camera and downloading footage. He was gone all day from 9 a.m. and returned home 11 p.m. on Sunday night. And as he drove inside the garage, I saw his friend in the car in the passenger seat. Oh, they had enjoyed the weekend together. Okay. He sneaked him into the house for him to spend the night. I downloaded the footage. On Monday, August the 4th, I returned around 3 p.m. He did not mention anything about his friend. I asked what he did over the weekend, and he said, not much. Chilled at home. And yesterday, I went to the movies. I tried to be intimate with him, and he said he just had a rash on his private part, and he could not be with me. Well, he probably got herpes or something. You probably don't need to be with him anymore, especially since you know that he's dipping with other men. That thing can turn into HIV if it's not HIV already. Women, be very careful. I asked to look at it, and sure enough, it looked raw and very red. So I realized that he had slept with his friend on Sunday night after sneaking him into the home. I did not confront him. I was in shock and slowly processing what I found out. On Tuesday, I noticed he was on his personal computer, which was always locked, and I had no access to. So I tricked him into going to buy me a craving I had from Sonic. I begged him to get it now. He left, and I immediately got onto his computer, which he forgot to lock because he was annoyed by my request. I found the secret Gmail and emails to his friend. There was an itinerary on an out of town trip they took in September 2023. They had traveled together from Friday through Monday. I went to work on Wednesday, and I started looking at footage I had on my phone and the pictures I took of his trip on his computer. I could not believe he had traveled with this gay man. I started looking at the calendar and realized that weekend he went on his trip with his gay friend. I had traveled with my daughter out of town. Yeah, so anytime you're out of the way, then he gonna be with his gay friend. You know, these gay men are extremely crafty because I dated a man very short time and found out that he was on the DL. By the time I realized that he was, I was out of there. But before I got away from him, I remember him telling me that an acquaintance of mine invited him out to his home uh, one, I guess, early afternoon for lunch or whatever. And when he got there, uh, all of a sudden, the guy told him he had to leave. He couldn't stay or whatever because his wife unexpectedly came home. So he figured that the guy called him out there to have sex. You see, a lot of these guys will tell on each other if you listen to them. If they don't feel like they have a stake in you, they'll tell you. And there's too many men out here who are doing this kind of activity, ladies. So don't hang your hat on thinking that your relationship is all solid. No. If your husband got a best friend that he hang out with all the time, be careful. Be careful. Okay. That indicated he had planned this trip along with his friend, spending the night, since he was aware I'd be out of town. I remembered deleted footage, which usually occurred when I was with my kids. I still did not confront him. On Saturday, August the 9th, we went out to dinner and had a few drinks. When we got home, I gave him more drinks until he passed out. Then I looked at his phone and saw his friend often text, "Boo, boo, I love you." Boo, thank you for the amazing time we had together. Boo, you are my favorite. And the Monday after he spent the night, he texted him, "Boo, I left my underwear in your back seat. Just toss it before you have to explain it." He probably left it there intentionally because I'm telling you, these gay guys want you to discover that your man is on the DL. I'm telling you, many of them will tell it on them. They want you to find out because once you find out, your relationship is over and now he'll probably run to his gay friend. You see? But that doesn't mean that he's going to be openly gay. He'll still sneak around. He just won't have to explain anything to you. Okay? My partner's response was, "Boo, I don't have to explain myself to anyone." That felt like a slap in my face. The disrespect, the deceit, the lies, the fact that I was no one to him. I immediately went to my son's house and told him our relationship was over. He agreed, saying, "You're right. This is not working out." You see, his gay friend has been nudging him to leave you anyway. Okay? I have been staying at my son's house since then. However, he is texting me on a daily basis. "I love you. I miss you. I know I messed up this relationship and I'm sorry." I'm still getting daily texts from him, but I have gone no contact. Good. You don't want to be with a closeted gay man. I don't care what he says. That's nasty. You don't want to do that. He texts that we have to meet face to face to discuss all the financial attachments we have together. I know I eventually have to move all my stuff out. How should I handle this face to face conversation? Why you need a face to face conversation? Just because he said so? Okay. So if you have hopefully you don't have a joint bank account. Hopefully. But what other kind of financial attachments do you have? Things that you bought together, things like that. So the only reason that he'd want to have the conversation with you is because he wants his half out of whatever he probably put in financially. That's the only reason a man would want to talk to you about it. He's not wanting to talk to you about financial attachments to benefit you. It's about him. He's looking for his part in it. Okay? I still have not told him my suspicions or what I have discovered. It's not going to make a difference anyway. He's just going to deny it, or he won't even answer you. DL men, they never come clean. They're chicken-hearted because they know it's wrong. That's why they're hiding. You understand? They know deep down in their soul it's wrong. But that demon's got a hold to them, and it's hard for them to break it. I think he will continue to lie to me. I also don't want to anger him, and there is retaliation toward me. He is an immature man with violent tendencies. Well, then you don't need to have no face-to-face conversation. Now, you talk to him over the phone, or, even then, let him write you a letter. But don't contact him. Just like if I were you, unless these financial attachments would affect you in a negative way, I wouldn't even contact him. I wouldn't say anything. I just let him work it out, whatever it is. But I'm telling you, for him to want to talk to you, he's looking to benefit himself from it. You don't need that. He had sexual relations with his stepbrother when he was 12. Well, then that's where the tendency is. That's where the demon came in. And that demon never left. Okay? He told me his 16-year-old half-brother then took advantage of him, and they used to have sexual relations. Well, wait a minute. When he told you that, nothing clicked in your brain to say that he's got a tendency to have sex with men? I'm going to tell you, I kind of found that your first sexual experience really kind of sets the tone of your sexual relationships from that point on. For instance, if your first sexual experience is with someone from a different race, when you first start to date, when you get out there and really start dating people, you will lean toward that particular race only because that was your first sexual experience. This is what I'm saying. So I'm saying that because of an early age, his first sexual experiences was with boys. So he learned to enjoy sex with boys. Now, the question is, why is he with you? You say you've been together for 5 years. So you didn't say how long you've been living together, but you said that you started this relationship 5 years ago. All right, hopefully you haven't been living together that long, so you haven't accumulated a lot of stuff. But the thing about it is, this man has been trying to cover up that he's gay. You don't want anybody to know, so you're just a cover. That's all. There's no love there. That's why he was so easy to let you go. There's never no love there. You were just a cover, so people will assume that he's a heterosexual. Okay? He probably didn't even enjoy having sex with you. You know, a lot of these gay men, they either want oral or anal if you are gay. With a woman, they really don't care to have sex with the woman. They don't like the juices that the woman produces when she gets excited or any of that. They don't like that. So that's why they prefer men. But many of them were introduced to that activity at a very young age. He said that was not his lifestyle choice, and he had been a victim. He lying. He might have been a victim in the beginning, but it became his lifestyle choice, but he hides it because he prefers to have sex with men, but he didn't want anybody to know. Okay. So he had probably been having sex with this man since the 2 years that they met at the bar. And he may have met him at a gay bar. He is not like he's unfamiliar with gay men. If his brothers was having sex with him at a young age, they all gay. Okay. And perverted. And it's probably a generational curse because now how did his brothers get introduced to it? It was either through his dad or his uncles. Some man in the family molested them and they molested the brother. Now the brother, it carries it on. That's a curse. That's a curse. He also mentioned that he had a physical altercation with his dad, now deceased, and stepmom. I don't know what that is. His dad kicked him out of his home at 16 when he hit them. He moved in with a lady who was 10 years older than him to have a place to stay. Then that didn't work out. He moved from girl to girl. Yeah, because he needed support. It wasn't because he was looking for love. He was looking for a roof. Somebody take care of him. And apparently, when he looks at a woman, that's what he's looking for. Somebody to support him. He's not looking at you for sex because he prefers having sex with men. But women bring a lot to the table. Caring, giving, nurturing. That's a woman. He dated a lot and eventually got his ex-wife pregnant and lived with her for about 30 years. He was still sleeping with men. I bet you even in 30 years. Maybe his ex-wife found out just like you found out. And that's why she's the ex. He had been divorced only months after we started our relationship. Well, now you know that's too fast. Never date anybody who just broke out of a relationship. No, it's got to be at least a year or two, maybe more, before you consider dating somebody because they're still carrying the energy from the old relationship. And plus, you want to know what happened in an old relationship. Don't scoop up nobody that fast. No, you're just asking for trouble. Okay. His ex-wife and 2 kids disowned him. Yeah, they probably found out he was sleeping with men, or they wouldn't have gone through drastic measures of disowning him. No one talks to him. I do not know any of his family. Well, you know what? It's just as well because they probably all perverted. Do you think he is a DL man? For sure. Yes. And should I tell him what I know or simply move myself from the game? You should simply remove yourself from the game. He already told you that it's good, it's over, it's not working out. So get out. Don't try to talk to him. Don't try to explain anything. And don't try to get any answers because you won't. DL men never come clean. Ever. Okay, he'll have all kinds of excuses. And if you keep drilling him, like you said, he could get violent. Just pack up your things and leave. And don't turn back, no matter what he says or does. This man is dealing with demons. With demons. And you don't want that in your life. Secrets. Deceit. And that's only going to turn into hurt. Because one day you could come home early and catch them being together. Now, how shocking would that be? You don't want that. Let it go. Let him go. And chalk it up to a bad experience. And plus, stop having sex with these men as soon as you meet them. They could be carrying all kinds of diseases. And they tell me that, the condom doesn't always work. Maybe they might have the germ on their fingertips. They touching you all over and stuff. No. Keep these people at bay. And one way to guard yourself, don't be desperate to have a man. Be more desperate to be independent, confident, and strong. And don't forget to love yourself. So just realize that DL men are everywhere, in every profession. They're educated, they're uneducated, you know, they're classic, and they ghetto. They're everywhere you look, but they're secretive. They pretend that they're heterosexual men. But if you take your time and keep talking to them, you'll see things and your gut will let you know that something is not right. But if you don't take your time, now you're caught up in this evil mix. And now you don't know what to do. How am I going to deal with this? You see? Prevent it. Don't even start it. I hope you understand the message today. And I really hope that it helps someone. Now, those of you who may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.